Okay, 2014-15 calendar.
If we would look inside your document for this evening, and what we've added to our calendar this year, rather than having full-day professional development, as we do during the course of the year, we worked with TEA, and we'll be looking at one Thursday a month, and generally it will be the third Thursday, where teachers will have a shortened day. It's not a half day, but students will leave about an hour earlier, and this will give us 2 hours of time where teachers can come together and work in PLCs, professional learning communities, and 1 week will focus on student needs, another week will focus on curriculum, and the third week will focus on instructional strategies, or whatever topics are needed by the teachers, because teachers will help design professional development in their building for the year. So we'll still have some days, such as before the beginning of school. We'll continue with our new teacher orientation, staff convocation, and then a professional development day. And then as we move into September, you can see that it will be on the 18th, again the third Thursday. In October, it will be the 16th, the third Thursday, and as you go through the year, we will have, I believe, 1 Thursday per month. And we continue to extend, to build in our 5 hours in case of excess snow.
5 days.
5 days, sorry, not 5 hours, 5 days. If you want to take a look at the winter vacation or winter recess for the holidays, we will go Monday and a half day Tuesday, and then be out from December 24th until we will return on the 5th of January, because the 1st of January is a Thursday and we're not going to open school for 1 day.
Yes,
Is there any school districts in the state that have longer amounts of student-teacher participation than 183? You know what those districts are? How many more days? Other districts?
I know some districts, go from 184, 186. I can find out exactly, specifically what we've been asked to do, why this was so late coming to you, and this year is because there was talk that we would be mandated to have a regional calendar for the Northwest area or Litchfield County. And I sat on that, given that we have the largest school district. The other piece is that we wait for the state calendar to come out for Oliver Wolcott, because we save money by following that calendar closer, so we don't have to add extra bus runs. But when that fell through, and it doesn't look like it won't happen until 15, 16, we went and developed our own for what we believe our needs are here. But yes, there's some school districts have longer days, some have longer years. Some of the magnet schools have almost year-round school now. But it's all based on the employee contracts.
Cheryl, would you consider sometime next year showing us some products from professional development?
Certainly.
What's being produced?
We can even show you things from this year that would have been
But
produced.
maybe next year, or whatever, so that we have an idea of
I would like
not just what's going on, but so what's the product coming out of that?
Exactly.
What difference does it make?
And one of the things that we're looking at is, instead of having time during the summer to write, that we're much more successful this year with writing and developing curriculum during the year, so that teachers can, what was developed, can take it back, developing a study, take it back, implement it in the classroom and then come back and
Right, right. I would just be curious to see.
I,
the product.
I would like to just, part of what the CIAT's completed this year with, developing the template, the curriculum, and then the units of study that have come out in the core areas.
And I'd be really curious to see what the music department, the art department, they frequently are left out of professional development days, so what do they do?
It's been interesting because they too have been brought into literacy, reading and writing across the curriculum.
What time would the early dismissal be for professional development?
Let's see, it's about 2 o'clock. It would only be about an hour earlier than current dismissal time.
1 o'clock in the high school, 2 o'clock in the middle school.
Now, do we know if the local daycares could, because I know like a parent, we have a half day, I think it's 50 hours they're charged to go. I'm just curious, can they accommodate them arriving early? I'm just wondering.
Yeah, we through Torrington Early Childhood Collaborative, because most of the daycares, or early childhood centers then go into extended day programs afterwards, and so they have the children before school. They'll take them whatever time they
But will
come.
they charge extra? I mean, that's kind of what I'm, because that's a lot of, it is like gonna be $50 or $75. Adding all those 9 extra days, I think.
But it's not days, it's 1 hour.
Well, but
So
they-
10 hours for the year.
Right, but I'm not sure how it would work in this scenario, but normally if they were to go, if the school's at a half day, there's an extra charge to absorb those kids at, 1:30 versus them coming in at 3:30 to 4. I would just hate to find out that by doing this, that parents are gonna have to pay an extra $50 to $75 a month to accommodate that 2 hours of time at daycare for parents that are working. And I'm not sure what the cost would be, but.
Well, if we go to full day kindergarten, that would be the greatest impact, and they'll be.
But only for kindergarten. I'm just
Yeah.
looking at it from a standpoint, if you have 2 or 3 kids in elementary school that are going to some kind of daycare after school, how much are we adding to their daycare expense? It doesn't affect the people that don't pay for daycare, and it doesn't affect the stay-at-home people, but the working people it would affect. Because they're not gonna take those kids for all that extra time for no charge. So, I mean, I just think it's something that we should consider. Maybe no one agrees, but.
It's,
We can find out.
right now, when I think of how we work with parents that if they have relatives for childcare, they can change schools, and, they have school choice. So, and so we're picking up at grandparents or whoever, friends, whoever may be doing the childcare. So that's one piece that we already provide for them, rather than making them, attend the neighborhood school. They have school choice. I know that many of our preschool, or many of our child care centers have called sliding scale and also care for kids. So that would be, that extra would be absorbed in.
Well, I mean, I'm looking more at just the middle-class working families that have their kids in daycare. $100 extra to them a month could be a lot. but-
We reach out to Torrington Child Care, see, just hit a couple of the big ones and see if there's a
Sure.
choice for them.
Yep. We'll do what? We'll do all of them. We'll do, what is it? Future foundations. No,
Grab a
yeah.
few of the big
The
ones
public
and see
ones, the
what it is.
ones
The
that.
public ones, the ones that aren't subsidized, the
Right.
ones that are.
But it would pretty much be 1 extra hour a month. Because instead of getting there at 4 o'clock, they get there at 3. It's the elementary. So we'll,
So I'm wondering if maybe even we could work with those daycares to see. And then the other question was just that the union, is the union approved this calendar?
the union Oh, they approved, yeah, they approved, in fact, it was their idea. We were trying to get it another way, this extra time, or better use of professional development
No, I
instead
mean,
of
'cause
random
last
days.
year, they had a big issue with the April, which is why we had to keep.
No, we
doing the
passed
calendar.
it by them.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
discussed it with them, had a couple of meetings with them, proposed a few ideas, and and together we came up with a solution, so they're definitely bought in on it.
And with April, they said keep it around the Easter, holiday.
Now, the state was saying that they were going to be trying to get all the vacations in line.
Everything, they want one, first they wanted a state calendar, then they said, well, that wouldn't work because for those of us with a few more inches of snow, can't cancel school here and then still have it in West Hartford or someplace. So, that's when they said regional or county calendars.
But that's not mandated yet.
No, it's 15 and 16, or later.
And if I could add something, another one of the issues in this part of the state is that some of the schools a little further south get the Jewish holidays off,
Right.
and we don't. So that's gonna take some time to.
And your major cities will have, like Three Kings Day and.
Right.
By breaking the professional development off instead of dedicated days into the end of the day, how many hours of continuous professional development they have on each of these half-days?
They'll have 2 hours on those days, but they'll also have it built in during the week, so that when you start something, you're not waiting for a month or 2 months to get back to doing it. There'll be an opportunity each week at other times built into the school schedules, but then in 1 week, you'll have 2 days to do it. And that's pretty much how we've been trying to develop the professional learning communities. You need it often, not as long, but often. We'll still have a full day in November, have the full days before school starts. They'll still have the last day in June, for exams and everything.
And they're also trying to make that a part of the regional calendar as well.
Yes. We really designed this with what was good for us, but also what might be coming down, so it won't be so much of a shock when you have to go to a regional calendar.
Just one more question. How much instructional time do the students have on the full days that they actually have school?
How much instruction?
Yeah.
Well, we have a 7.5-hour day for teachers and about a six-hour day for students. Instructional time.
So kids get 6 hours of instruction, and how many days of the year are they in testing? So that those 6 hours are not.
The testing is an hour or 2 at a time, and it takes about maybe 10 to 12 hours to test. But that doesn't include if you do the sample testing, say maybe 15, 16 hours.
So students are losing about
3 days.
3 days.
full days of
3 full days.
instructional time as well,
Yes.
of a 6-hour instructional day.
And that's only for standardized testing required by the state. We're also, we need to monitor the progress, academic progress of students, so we have our own internal assessments that we do to see if students are developing the skills and the strategies and the content knowledge that they'll be able to apply when they take the state test. If like in a first grade, are you recognizing the letters? You have to do,
Right.
sound, symbol relationships, blends, it's.
To answer your question on the hours in testing, that's in the Smarter Balance sheets they handed out. It gives you the total by classification.
And right now, with Smarter Balance, you only have 2 assessments. We also had to administer the old CMT science test this year. So there'll be more Smarter Balance tests coming up. Or they may, rather than be separate content areas, student may be having, you know, a problem, question, something they have to read. So you'll see integration of science, literacy, and mathematics.
Right. Thank you.
Okay. The acceptance, this is improperly worded on my part, I apologize. Everyone was given their budget book. This is the summary of the last 2+ months of our lives. Hopefully, if everyone gets the opportunity, we are presenting this to the city next Tuesday, the 29th. At 6 o'clock. Please review your book. If you see anything, let us know before we present it to the city on the 29th. Give us time if you find something that you have a question on, we can address it. Yeah. Yeah. Does anybody have any questions on the books that were handed out at this point? Excellent. Okay. I need a motion to go into executive session and invite the superintendent.
For the purpose of,
The purpose of the superintendent's performance.
some,
Thank you, John. Second. Can we get a room, please? Oh, sorry, all those in favor? Opposed? You're opposed?